Good evening and welcome to Gator Garage. We're here with John Russell
Hi,
from
y'all.
Warlord Games. Do what?
Hi, y'all. Hey, glad to
Hey,
be here.
y'all.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, we're here with John Russell from Warlord Games, and we are here to talk about all things historical gaming in and around the great and wonderful city of Savannah, Georgia, and South Georgia. So
There you go.
it's like John and I were just talking. It's been years since we had an opportunity to cause this much fun together, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks for the invite,
Actually,
Mike. I
John,
appreciate it very much.
absolutely, I think it's your fault that I'm doing all this because I met you at Siege of Augusta in like 20.
Shh! Don't be sharing that now.
And then it was off to the races after that. And you
That's
you
right.
talked me into being a Warlord stockist, and oh my gosh, it was such a hard sell because I've always been a Warlord fanboy. And I'm like, wait, I can not only be a user, I can be a pusher too. Sign
There
me
you
up.
go.
So here we
Pretty sure
go.
one of my nicknames is Pusher Mike. So yeah, I got
I
it.
hear you.
I got that from Germany. That's a long story over adult beverages, but yeah, anytime.
Nice. Well, you kind of hung my moniker on me, and it's entirely appropriate.
There you
Bad
go.
Dice Baker. I live up to that on the regular.
That's right. I'm glad to have you aboard. Thanks for inviting me. I really appreciate it. It's always fun to talk about Warlord stuff.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, I mean, the ongoing pull of course, is
There it
Achtung
is.
Panzer,
Yes.
and I did not buy the starter set. I did get the rule book because,
That's
as
all
I
you
said on
need.
my post, it
Every
yes,
if you're an old school gamer, that little $38.50 purchase right there allows you access to everything that is Achtung Panzer. The the data cards, the little chits, the everything you need plus an index is in that rule book right there. 38.50 and welcome to the world of Achtung Panzer.
yeah. I'm just gonna give, and I did this last time when I did my initial rollout. You've got your card deck that you can photocopy and put on
All the
cardstock.
cards, all the
You know,
cards.
right, and you're gonna need them because it gets real interesting. You got your data sheet.
There
You
it
got your
is.
card. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Old
how
school. It's. I mean, how many of us out there in your viewership remember going to your dad's, your mom's, or wherever it was in the library, the photocopier, and throwing down your rule book and making some photocopies so you can have some stuff to play. Everything you need is in that one rule book, right?
I'm an old Starfleet Battles player, so you're
Oh,
preaching to the choir.
don't be sharing that with everybody. Holy mackerel, Starfleet battles. Holy mackerel. Impulse move 1, impulse move 2. Oh, mackerel.
There you go. Speaking of impulses, I think I got some feedback at Siege of Augusta that some of the guys weren't quite sure what to make of the game. Uh, tell me about how this impulse system works, because that's really what it is. As soon as I read the rules, I'm like, oh, this is an impulse system.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, what's really great about Achtung Panzer is a tank game. It's not bolt action, but, pause for emphasis, it kind of is. What allows you to do is everybody wanted that, Jagdtaga. They wanted the church, the big Churchill. They wanted the big tanks, but they just couldn't figure out how to fit it into their bolt action system. Achtung Panzer allows you to do that and allows you to play with those big tanks. And you can take whatever tank you want with a data card and put it into the game. It's tanks, and it's about tanks, and infantry is a second thought.
It's almost the reverse of bolt action.
Exactly.
And that's not a bad thing.
No.
So
and if a lot of people like it, there may be, I'm not saying anything, but hint, nudge, nudge, what I'm saying, there might be supplements later on for desert warfare, Eastern Front, Western Front, who knows? But if it catches on and people like it, there might be some supplements down the line.
that's excellent. That's excellent. So again, I think, especially with the ability, once again, one of the things Warlord has done with this, of course, they've got the starter box, and I have one. We saw the two force German and American starter box for 135 on our
Brilliant.
website.
Brilliant.
folks want to check that out, we've got that for sale. But you don't have to buy that. You can buy just the rule book, and this does what I've always come to expect from Warlord. It delivers. It's a full value for the money. We talked about it's got the data cards, it's got the sheets. It also has every vehicle of the major armor using powers. Doesn't
Late
have the
war, late
Japanese,
war.
doesn't have the French, sir.
Yeah, late war. But
Yeah, late war,
there
and
might be
that's when
some
all the
early.
sexy. Yeah, that's when all the sexy big tanks came out that everybody wants to play with anyway.
Yeah,
So
and
38
we
bucks.
just said, we let the French tank crews and stuff leak out, so there might be French coming down the line. Who knows?
Would love to play it. I'm a huge fan of early war. So yeah, you wouldn't be breaking my heart if we did early war, and then the shoes on the other foot because you got that monster, the Char B. So there
Yes.
you go. But yeah, Achtung Panzer, we've got the rule book, we've got the starter kit on sale. Everything else is available for direct order, always to our customers at a discount. So just something to be aware of there. We have one guy in our group that's jumped on it. I'm going to jump on it just because I love tanks.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's just it's one of those 45 minutes to an hour, hour and a half of just nothing but tank on tank action.
yeah,
And what's really kind of neat is for right now, hopefully in the future it may change, but for right now, if you buy the the German starter or the Russian starter or the British starter or the American starter, there's a stowage pack that's only in that starter set that is special to just that faction. So the German one is different than the Russian, which is different than the British. I mean, the American one's got a guitar case. The Russian one's got
of
that
course it does.
tank. Yeah. So I mean, the stowage is always cool too, and
Yes,
just because there's blank forms in there that you can do that fun that you like to do. One of my raiders, Sebastian, filled out one of the forms with the Easy 8 tank that Oddball had. And there's
perfect.
yeah, I know. So we have to come up with rules for could be a 90 millimeter, war music, woof woof, and paint. So now we're trying to get Roger and Mike, the guys who developed the game, to come up with rules for that. So again, Warlord always puts out rules that says, the first or second paragraph, hey, thanks for buying the game, do whatever you want. But Achtung Panzer allows you to dust off those tanks you have sitting on your shelf and come out and play with it.
There we go. There we go. Looking forward to that. I will say, when it comes to getting the younger gamers in too, they love the tanks. I did a whole session about 2 months ago at Effingham County Middle School with my buddy Alan. I go up there about once a month and run bolt action for the kids, and a couple of the boys had bought just a butt ton of big tanks, and I'm like, cool, we got this, and everybody got a tank, and we all had fun, and we blew up tanks and had fun, and the kids had a good time. Mission accomplished.
Yep.
So that's really good.
Check that box.
Yeah, check that box. So the other thing, I like to share with the community is kind of what we're doing here in terms of our local scene.
Yes.
So that's and I want to do a couple things. I want to tell you what we're doing, and then you can kind of springboard off that and pass on what you're seeing from other groups. Now I will tell you, Savannah's not quite as active as we'd like it to be. Florida is just popping. Everything south of Jacksonville looks like it's really hopping. Glad to see it. A lot of bolt action. A little bit of I think I've seen a little bit of black powder, but a lot of bolt action in Florida. Of course, our group is heavy into bolt action, but we also like black powder Civil War. Got one of our guys really chomping at the bit to do black powder 28s, and I'm like, I'll be up all night painting for that. He's like, I don't care, I'm gonna play.
That's
so
right.
We got that going on. We put Blood Red Skies on the table.
Nice.
Everybody enjoyed that. I did notice that some of the product line on Blood Red Skies is drawing down. Any intel on that you can share with us?
There's the Blood Red Skies. We've got over 40 different kind of airframes and about 30 different or 40 different types of named pilots. There's a lot more coming down the pike. Every month we have a little bit something else coming out. I am a particular fan of Airfix Presents Blood Red Skies. So I'm a big Red Skies fan. So I like to do a lot of 72nd scale stuff. At Adepticon, we did a the opening scenes from Battle of Britain in 32nd scale. We had the chain home radars, and we had Stukas and Spitfires and ME-109s and Hurricanes. It was fun. And then, of course, Sunday we closed out with what I call Big Alley. We did the Bridges of Toko Ri in 72nd scale. So there's more coming in Blood Red Skies. And he's kind of starting to lean towards maybe some World War I stuff. Who knows? But and then, of course, we've got maybe some stuff coming out in the IP that we bought after, well, not after, but continuation of World War II that we can't talk about, but maybe we can. But there's still some stuff coming out for Blood Red Skies, Mike.
Good.
So,
that's good to hear because we've really gotten excited about it. Me and a friend of mine, we're doing the Western Desert. He bought the entire Italian Air Force, and I'm doing a combination. I'm going to end up doing my Spitfires as well as some P-40 Warhawks in desert colors. And I'm just jazzed. I've been slowly but surely working on the Gentleman's War set for a couple of years.
Nice.
Finally got them done. So yeah, it's going to be all med theater for a while, which will be something that doesn't get nearly enough play in our group. I think that'll be fun.
Well, and then you can take that Blood Red Skies, you can take that Bolt Action, you take Cruel Seas or Victory Seas, your choice.
Oh, yeah.
And really mesh that into that, all theater, all aspect kind of fun.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I've got the starter set with the Japanese and Americans, but you wouldn't have to get a lot either. I find when it comes to Victory at Sea, if you're running cruisers and destroyers, you're going to capture a lot of it. Exactly. You can go up to battleships, but you don't need many. It's especially if you want to play in a reasonable amount of time.
And you can also do Cruel Seas, with our sister company Skytrex, you can really have some fun in that med with British and Germans.
Well, interestingly enough, I've got, of course, the British-German starter set, but I did on a whim when I was initially buying into Cruel Seas. I picked up a squadron of Italian torpedo boats.
Oh, brilliant!
Yes, we'll be running the whole shooting match. So I think,
nice.
Yeah, we'd definitely be looking for more reports on those things. And again, we play a lot of bolt action, and there for a while, our guys got a little burnt. And they were like, let's do some different things. And so when I broke out Blood Red Skies and Cruel Seas, they were like, hey, this is refreshing, something different. Still World War II a little bit, but now we're looking at something different. So that's been pretty exciting.
And that's what's great about Mike, and I'm sorry to cut you off there, but that's what's great about, there's nothing like having a great table, some friends with libations, and some nicely painted miniatures just to have some fun. And I think people forget about, a lot of times, almost every single Warlord rulebook that we put out that the first or second paragraph says, thanks for buying, have some fun. It's your game. So, I mean, there's just something about my good friend and Raider, Tony Rieger, says you come for the game, but you stay for the community. And that's what's, Bolt Action and all of them have that cinematic effect that makes that game almost like a movie, and you're participating in it.
You are so right. That's what originally drew me to historical gaming, and it's what keeps me coming back to gaming. Is not so much the tallying up the points and building that perfect list, but telling the story. I have like 2 consistent lists I run in Bolt Action. I'll probably always run them in Bolt Action, and win, lose, or draw, those are my guys, and they're my buds, and they're the guys I'm going to run. And I've never been one that, okay, how do you chase the most optimal list? It's like I started that with Flames of War. It was like people would say, well, you should buy this or add that. I'm like, look, I got 100-point force. It is what it is. I'm either going to win or not. And these are my guys. And I play Bolt Action the same way. Had a really good time teaching my pastor's son to play using the Academy of Street Fighting, because I had that French versus German store demo kit.
Yeah.
And the boy beat me. It was great.
Well,
and he might have had a little coaching, but he did good.
Yeah, Skirmish Rule, Academy Street Fighting is great. We released it for a really, really small window, but if people are interested, just have them contact me. We also came out with another one called Libyan Taxi Service. And Libyan Taxi Service goes to the next level of Academy Street Fighting, and there's some skill trees, and it's a whole nother dimension of Bolt Action and the skirmish level. So, I mean, they can give me a call, 406-579-7704, or email me at jon.russell@warlordgames.com, and I'll send you the Libyan taxi service, and that extends that Academy of Street Fighting to a whole nother level.
So look at me. I am making a note here because I happen to know my guys are always jonesing for some kind of RPG type
Oh, yeah,
experience.
it is all about
So I didn't even know we had that.
Yeah, Libyan taxi service. It is just McCready and Richard Carlisle came up with some brilliant stuff that we were still working, and we haven't, it's half baked and stuff, but I think you'll really enjoy Libyan taxi service.
I'll tell you, I'm an old Lord of the Rings player, and there was a fan developed, just like this, there was a fan developed Battle Companies thing where you use like a dozen figures, and we played the heck out of that, and finally GW got smart and snapped it up. But that whole skirmish level thing. Well, what I like too about the Academy of Street Fighting that level is it gives a people opportunity to paint 1 or 2 sprues of troops and get figures on the table, and I'm just big on that. Look, don't first of all get your troops painted. They're gonna mean more to you, but don't think you got to paint the entire army at one go.
Yeah, 6 guys in a sprue. Not that I'm trying to say here, here's the new Ranger sprue, but I'm just saying 6 guys. There you go, get it done.
I was going to ask you. I actually had a comment here about that new Ranger sprue. What drove making the new sprue there when they already had the Ranger kit?
Well, now it's all hard plastic. There's no metal pieces in this, and this top row right here, is all inspired by those guys from the Saving Private Ryan. There they are.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
And there's, flashlights, axes. And where's that? There's the axes. Some pickaxes, knives, grenades. And this, the bar, and this center core right here is what we had for the U.S. Army, but now we added the top part and the bottom part to go for Rangers. So this now makes another plastic sprue set. The only sprue set in our whole inventory that doesn't have arms and weapons in one hand is the Russians and Russians Winter. So they may be or maybe not next up, but there's your Rangers right there coming out next month.
That's fantastic. And I'll be probably throwing those into my next store order. I order from I end up ordering from Warlord about twice a month. I mean, my customers are great, and the product moves for us. So we'll definitely be adding that to Gator Games as an upgrade.
And Mike, I'm liking that they're putting the paint, the little, there you go.
That's huge. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And there's the decals or decals, however you want to pronounce it. And this right here is kind of really important for this sprue because there's some things I didn't recognize when they first came out.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, those are vital.
There's all the names right there, Jackson, and there's all the names from inspired by Private Ryan.
That is fantastic.
Can't say from, but inspired by.
No, inspired by, of course.
There you go. We want all balls heroes.
That's right. Make sure nobody's IP feels in the least bit threatened.
So let
me tell you a little bit what we're doing around here. So one of the things I do on as a personal note is I run the Savannah Garrison, which is an HMGS chapter.
Yep.
We're part of HMGS South. Love those guys. Always have. Jacksonville's kind of like my new home turf when it comes to major gaming. And we kind of raised the banner here beginning of last year. Having an HMGS chapter, and the goal there is to promote historical gaming, whatever the flavor, but predominantly historical gaming within the Savannah area. And we play everything from thank you. Like I say, we started off doing a lot of bolt action. We've sidelined into, like I said, Blood Red Skies, a little bit of Cruel Seas. The current hotness is Blood and Plunder. Kind of a chuckle. I've had a painted Blood and Plunder British force for, I'm embarrassed to say, I want to say 10 years, and yet to play Blood and Plunder with it. It's made a nice addition to my black powder force.
Well, the Blood and Plunder guys, I love, all those guys. come out of Florida. I love them to death. All those guys down there, Rufus and
Yeah.
Mike and all those guys.
Yep.
Great game, good stuff, and I always enjoy seeing them on the circuit. But yeah, you're in that area where Blood and Plunder is the bomb.
Yeah, we've got a pirate themed bar that invites us to come play on Mondays. And when we can swing it, I want to get over there either this coming Monday or the following Monday. Weekends are a little tough, but I want to get over there and actually run a game of Blood and Plunder
Really?
at the bar, get the pictures, and that would be just
Drink a lot
so
of
much fun. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. So what we do with our group is the stores around here are more heavily into the 40K scene in that.
Mhm.
Or one of our big stores has almost fully pivoted into the whole magic and 40K thing. I've tried to run a couple demos there, and they're always busy, which is good for the stores. I mean, as
Yeah,
long as the stores are good, the hobby's growing.
there's
So
nothing wrong.
and honestly, it gives us a bit of an opportunity. What Savannah Garrison has access to is my church, a live church, where we can have regular meetings. I also have a HOA clubhouse where I can host about 6 folks. And we are developing a partnership also with Savannah Lion Games, which has
Nice.
been the headquarters for our Flames of War group around here for a long time. So, if people want to play historical miniature gaming, they can watch for our events the third Friday of every month. We're up at a live church from 7 o'clock until I decide to close the doors. And being a church member, I've got the keys. So,
Yeah,
I want
brilliant.
to stay. So, yeah. And, as long as I don't get home too late, my wife won't beat me too bad. So, there we go. But so that's the third Friday of each month. And it's an open play format. Ideally, I like to see people try and maybe organize some matches or pairings. If you want to work on your bolt action tournament list, it's a great place to do it. If you want to come learn a new game, speak up. We're always looking to teach, always happy to teach. And then I usually try and have open play even when we have events. We will usually have at least one Saturday a month where we're featuring something. This month we're running a 12-man partners tournament, and it's something we haven't ever seen. We haven't seen anybody else do. We're calling it an Axis and Allies tournament. And I'll show we are going to be giving the winning team. Nobody has seen these yet, so here it is.
Nice.
The members of the winning team will get the first cups for
Pulaski Cup. Nice.
we're calling this the Pulaski Cup. And so the winning team will get this, and then we will update the year every year. And it'll be something. We'll do something special for that. In
That's
addition,
nice,
Warlord
Mike.
is. Thank you. It was actually my friend Randy Jan's idea. Randy dove into bolt action about 5 or 6 years ago. Has been a huge promoter. Loves the tournament play, and he's always after me. Run a tournament, and then he basically acts as the assistant TO. He kind of keeps me moving, and he's just been a real blessing. But so yeah, we are really excited about that. And so he came up with the idea of doing this team. So it's 6 Axis players, 6 Allied players.
Brilliant.
And the first round is a 700-point round, pairs. The second round is pairs, and then the third round will be singles. So it's going to be real interesting to see how it plays out. Tip of the hat, John Ross will be here.
Oh wow, you got John Russ coming down. That's awesome. Well,
John's John's a good supporter of our effort down here.
Good guy. Love that guy.
Yeah, he is fantastic. And I will be posting pictures, of course. We put together, from what I've heard, we put together some of the best tables. I mean, they just look great. I think the Skibicki's could probably give us a run for our money. These are gorgeous. But we do put.
Yeah, they have some good tables, but and John Ross is, I think he's the captain of the world team when they do the WTC over in England, and then wherever they were.
Yeah, he did lead a team over there, and he has come to several of our events, and he's just
John Ross, he's
a blessing and encouragement. Yeah, he's fantastic. Who else is coming? Patrick Maloney out of Florida.
Patrick,
so. And then we're going to be helping him with his Huracan event. I'll be sponsoring that. And we're actually, Savannah Garrison is going to provide a couple of tables of terrain for his tournament up there.
Patrick Ballinger does great stuff down there. Patrick is one of the raiders, and Patrick Ballinger does a great job down there. Recon and Huracan and all that stuff.
Yes. First class man. He was even running one-off demos in his off time. It was great. And so that's we appreciate the support there. and I'm glad for him for coming up, and we're looking forward to helping support. Those tables are actually going to be sponsored by Savannah Garrison, so again looking to kind of grow our footprint and let people know that there's an HMGS chapter here in Savannah doing the job. Uh, uh, our next big event after that will be a D-Day themed event in June. Um, we're going to be doing a beach landing. Now, those are going to be using some rules by Mitch Mitchell. I think you probably know Mitch.
Yes. Yep.
He does a set of World War II skirmish rules, and we said, "Hey, can we use your landing beaches?" He says, "Yeah, but we're going to use my rules." We're like, "Good, give us some variety." So
Nice.
Randy will be running Breakcourt Manor, and I think one other airborne landing using bolt action, and then Mitch will be running his assault rules. But it's going to be a whole day of D-Day. And again, we would just invite people to show. By and large, if we tell you we are hosting a participation event, we've got plenty of troops.
Yeah.
Even for the tournament, we could have hosted people because I've got 2 tournament level armies. Randy's got like probably 3. So we're always able to try and accommodate people.
And that was,
then,
and that's what's
go
great
ahead.
about these events. You don't have to bring nothing. Just come in and have some fun, roll some dice, bring your friends, and have a good time. I mean, Trenchworks does some really great stuff, and I think they do a great Higgins boat, and just for people to come out and have some fun pushing some terrain around. There's nothing better. I've always said there's nothing better than having some well-painted miniatures on a nice table and just some, libations and some good friends to play some games.
Exactly right.
That's it right there, Mike.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that I enjoy too is going and just letting somebody else run a game. I run a lot of games, as you might imagine. Matter of fact, yeah, so
Right?
someone says, "Hey, come and run it, come and play my game." I'm like, "Okay, I'm in. Thank you." So it's really exciting.
Exactly.
So 2 Thursdays out of the month, we're over at Savannah Lion Games from 7 until 10, doing some kind of historical thing. Like I say, lately we've been on a Blood and Plunder campaign. But if somebody wanted to say, "Hey, I'd like to learn to play Bolt Action or Blood Red Skies," and I'd love to come up to one of the Thursday nights and do that, I'd be like, "Okay." So by my reckoning, our club has at least 4 days out of the month that we're available to the public for people to come out and play historical games.
Brilliant.
And yeah, and I think that's pretty strong. Yeah,
I agree.
now we just yeah, and my church is very accommodating. They do ask that we bring our own drinks and snacks, and that's easy. But I mean, I've had church people walk through our tournaments and be like, "Hey, cool, you guys are having fun. You're enjoying the fellowship hall. This is wonderful." Or they'll stop. I've had gray-haired ladies stop and ask questions and just really kind of want to know what's going on. And
Right.
I just think that's a blessing. And I'm grateful that I have that space. Yeah. So our upcoming tournament, we're going to have 12 players.
Nice.
So we are full, and these are all pre-reg. So be looking on the Gator Game site. Be looking on the Pulaski Guards group because I've asked the guys to take some pictures of their armies on the lead up and kind of do a write up as to what makes their army special. So you're going to see some of that leading up to this, and maybe even after. And I'm even going to put it out in some of the larger community boards to help people understand this crazy miniature gaming hobby we have.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So, John, what other things, if people are watching this and they're thinking about forming a club or joining a club, or they run a club and they want ideas, what are some other things you've seen other clubs do that just really seem to help build community?
Well, there's always it all centers around an FLGS, and you need to have that favorite local game store, like yourself or someplace to be able to. I mean, we can all do it out of a garage, but what's great is to have a place to go play at, or a convention that we can go play at, and even though, I mean, as well as I do that, there's something on eBay or something on Amazon, but if you don't support your FLGS, you'll have no place to play but your garage. And who wants to play in your garage after a while? So try to get out there and help people like Mike, people like, Gator Games, people like your local FLGSs, because by spending some time buying a brush, buying some paint, buying some dice from that FLGS, keeps them in business, keeps the lights on, gives you a place to go play. So as much as you can, try to support your FLGS and being able to, because they'll give you a place to play Yeah, you may maybe go to Amazon or someplace get it cheaper, but then that doesn't give your place to play money to help you give that place to play, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So help them out.
Yeah, that goes for Gator too.
Yep.
I do run it out of my garage, but I'm out in the community building.
Yep.
And I think that kind of sets me apart from a lot of the guys you might see on the internet that, oh, hey, I've got my shingle out, come buy my stuff. No, I'm out. And John will tell you, I do promo. I'm
Yep.
all the time. Matter of fact, Warlord really does a super job of supporting our events. And I'm not shy at all to give someone a sprue or a kit to get them started in the hobby.
Yeah, it's all about,
And
you give that person that first sprue, and the first hit's free, but that's six
right,
guys, 5 to 6 guys. We usually do 6 guys on a sprue, 5 sprues in a box. But for $50 or for free, you get those first 5, 6 guys, and now you get a chance to try out a hobby, get a chance to paint, get a chance to get in with your local community, and really
right.
have some fun and interact with those folks.
That's right. Matter of fact, we just picked up a guy from Morningstar. Morningstar had been carrying bolt action, but haven't done well with it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking to kind of get out of their inventory. But I had met a guy on their Discord, and I invited him over to the HMGS Discord, and he's like, "Hey, I want to do a German army and a Soviet army," and I was like,
Right.
"Go talk to Morningstar. I know they've got some product.
Yeah.
See what we can do to help them."
Yeah.
And Belinda really appreciated that. She was like,
Nice.
"Thanks a lot." I'm like, "Hey, we all look out for one another."
It's
You
all
know,
about it's all about sharing and making sure that at the end of the day, and we've said this before, Mike, there's nothing better than having a great table of terrain and some
yes,
miniatures and some libations to just have fun and push some stuff. I don't care if it's World War II. I don't care if it's bolt action, black powder, Hail Ceasar, whatever it is that makes what scratches that itch for you. Have some fun, but you got to have a place to play it, and the
yeah.
FLGSs are the place to go.
Man, we threw Hail Caesar on the table using unpainted 1/72 scale minis.
Whoa!
Oh gosh, yes. But I had never played Hail Caesar. I've played and I haven't played Pike and Shot yet either, but played a lot of Black Powder.
Right,
And so
love
I
that game.
kind of right. So I kind of knew the mechanics, but it's different. It is definitely different. And Priestley really put some interesting optional rules in there to make the game move better. And we had an absolute blast.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to put Hail Caesar. Looking forward to the epic that's coming out.
Oh my
Gosh, it's
God,
going to
that
be
is
great.
what a box set that is. I mean, you look at people see the picture and they're like, "Oh, there's not a lot in there." They neglect to realize, zoom in, there's a ×6 or ×5 or ×4 on some of those pictures you see. So there's a crap ton of miniatures in that one box. And unlike our Napoleonic set, that is enough starters for both Carthaginians and Romans. So you got over 2,000-3,000 miniatures. And the uniqueness, we've discovered that sometimes we might put too much detail in, or people realize, oh my God, they painted this instead of like the 3 foot. But what we've done on our Hail Caesar is that, well, for example, the Romans, it's a three slot section, but the front rank is the front rank. Then there's nothing behind, and the middle rank is just the heads, and the back rank is the back. So you don't have to paint like 3 miniatures to get your whole unit in there. So
Yeah,
it's easier to paint.
yeah, yeah. And even the Black Powder, if you do them on the sprue, they're pretty approachable. So
Exactly.
that's how I
Exactly.
do mine, and it
Yes.
makes it real easy. So
Yes.
yeah, so we're jazzed about that. We're jazzed to put the Hail Caesar on the table. I'm looking forward to it.
July.
One of the guys here is really big into ancients. He's looking forward to it. So that's definitely good. Good points too about supporting your local community and your
Thank you.
local store. Yeah, and just another plug for the Savannah Garrison. We actually have one of our members, James Casey, has made terrain available specifically for the club. We've got I think 3 tubs of trees in different
Wow.
scales, in addition to some rough terrain. Um, I've donated a mat. He's donated a mat. So literally, other than maybe dice, and we can always rustle those up. You show up to play at our club, we got you covered.
Brilliant.
And
Thank you for that.
yeah, it's really Jim is just a wonderful soul, and he's a matter of fact, he's in the process now of making some palm trees for Blood and Blunder.
Oh, nice.
That he's going to let us use. So and that's the other thing. If you're thinking about forming a club, understand that you need about probably 4 to 6 people that are just dedicated to the community,
Yep.
and be ready to roll your sleeves up. You're going to be spending money on more than just toy soldiers. You're going to need to buy, terrain. You're going to probably need. We've got our own cards. We've got a couple of banners that
Yep.
the folks will be seeing there. So it takes a little bit of treasure to build a club like that. But if you get it right, and we did this in Waycross with the Waycross gaming community, if you get it right, you really do have a community that's more than just a bunch of folks that roll dice around a table. You start doing life together, and that's when you know you're getting it right.
Well, and to quote my good friend Raider Tony Rieger, you come for the game, but you stay for the community. And that's what
right.
it is, about building that community and having just
Yeah.
a place to go.
All right. Well, that's great. We've talked a bit about Achtung Panzer. Got to talk a little bit about our upcoming tournament, which we're so excited about.
Yes.
And I got to brag on my local club and my local Savannah Lion Games store that
Nice.
kind of holds itself. They just about always they hold 2 tables for us every other Thursday to
Nice.
run games on, and that's
nice.
fantastic.
That's
and we do, like you say, they're a Flames of War and 40K store mostly, but if I need paint, like I do painting, I do commission painting. If I need paint, I get it from them rather than even though I can get it direct from Warlord, I go get it from him because it's the one thing I know I can buy from him and support it.
Support that FLGS.
Heck yeah. And we're thanks for showing the Ranger too, because I'd seen a little bit of the write up on that on their website, the Warlord website, but seeing it in the flesh and hearing about it's really good. I'm definitely going to add a couple of those kits to the store. One might even find its way into my pile of shame. Don't tell my wife.
That's right. So you're telling me, Mike, that you have sabled, you have stuff acquired beyond life expectancy. Is that what you've done?
At my age and your age, I don't think I want to make that statement.
Exactly.
Let's not do that. And we talked a bit about the Hail Ceasar, which we are absolutely excited about, and I'm just Gator Games will be taking pre-orders on that. I haven't got it up on the website yet, but it's the next thing after I finish my next product loadout. So
good.
Gator Games, Savannah Garrison, we're here. We got things going on in Savannah, in and around Savannah. If you're anywhere within a couple hours, I think our events are worth coming to, whether it's a general game night or if you see one of our tournaments popping, you probably want to take advantage of it.
Exactly.
So, I'd like to invite all the folks. Maybe one day we'll even drag John down here. I know you sometimes get as far south as Augusta.
Yeah, I have been there before.
We'll have to drag you down to Huracan or something, or Jacksonville Skirmish.
I love it.
There we go. All right, John, this has been great, and we really appreciate your time. I think I'm going to wrap this up. Yes, sir. If you'll give us just a few minutes after we wrap up, and to the folks out there, thank you for watching. I hope you found it interesting. If you got topics you want covered, put it in the comments below. Let us know. If we don't know, we can find out, and all else fails, we can always learn together. So thank you from Gator's Garage. Absolutely. And we will be coming back next week with another edition of the Gator's Garage. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Have a good night.